Alright. Let's see. So why don't we... Oh, hold on. Why is there a quest marker here? Not sure why that's there. We might check out Toussaint later on in that case. As I said, there is definitely a new quest in Velen, so that is the one that I think we ought to take a look at now. So I know for certain there's some new stuff there, and that is specifically at where? Devil's Pit, I believe, was an area that had a fast travel spot, had this big area where it was sort of like a base that had a bunch of bandits in it, but there was never an actual quest. Nobody ever really talked about it, I don't think. None of the NPCs. So I think that is the primary place that has gotten some updates. So let's check that out. So this is the part that I'm most intrigued about. Alright. Alright, and we see there is a quest marker over there. And it sounds like it's going to be this guy right here. So again, this is Devil's Pit, inbound right by the fast travel spot. So I think the state of this quest was such that they had made some assets for it, and there was even a location over here that was just inaccessible, that theoretically was supposed to be for a quest, but I think they just never finished creating it, and so it was never implemented into the game. So despite, you know, if you could like phase through walls and what have you, you could kind of walk through this place and see what might have been, but there was never anything to do there, and through the normal game, it was never actually accessible. Perhaps until now. Why don't we save here? Let's see what this is all about.
What to do? And what of survivors? Eternal fire, guide me. I implore you.
Okay.
Sign.
Eternal Fire Priest. Let's see.
You wait! Step back! I'm no warrior. Help! Anyone help!
Easy now. Not in the habit of murdering priests in need.
No priest. I'm a deacon. Just 2 months out of seminary. On my first mission. It wouldn't be right to kill a deacon on his first mission.
Well.
Oh my, your eyes. Yellow and those pupils. I have read about this. You're a witcher.
Well, clearly no feral cat or grass snake, so...
In point of fact, a grass snake's pupils are circular, not slitted. But never mind that.
All right.
If they breach the gate, a pestilence will be upon us.
What? What happened? He's asking a mutant for help? Generally speaking, from past experience, it did seem as though the Eternal Fire people were not so kind toward witchers and non-humans in general.
Desperate times call for a witcher, huh? Thought your church frowned upon our kind. Mutants.
A mistake common in our ranks, alas. I discussed it at length with my mentor. All are capable of doing good in this world. Genetic aberrations or not.
You sure you're a priest of the Eternal Fire?
It doesn't sound right. That doesn't match up.
This debt'd be the second your church would owe me. Recently helped another of your kind burn the dead on the battlefield. Not far from here.
True. That was one of the first things we did in Velen.
I thank you.
Very long time ago.
Virtue in these times.
Right.
Alright, so this is a brand new quest that was not previously available at all. So let's go check it out.
Alright. But got a question first, priest. How's a witcher fight a plague?
I misspoke. Not the plague, its source. The Devil's Pit, this mine, has long been used as a place to sequester the hopelessly sick. An isolated haven for the afflicted.
A den to die in. Believe those are the words you're looking for.
I'm not proud to admit it, But how else is the Scarlet Fog to be withstood? An incurable pestilence that spreads with the fury of wildfire?
Interesting. There are other quests in The Witcher 3 that are tied to the plague. In particular with Kira Metz. And so I am curious. I mean, obviously, this Velen is generally one of the first places you go to in The Witcher, and this is one of the areas that you're probably going to end up at the very beginning of your time in Velen. So for the most part, I would imagine you're going to run into this guy very close to the beginning of your playthrough, at least in the grand scheme of things. So we're probably going to be really over-leveled for this, but interesting to try to contextualize it, because there was another Eternal Fire Priest that we helped out at the very beginning of Velen in this general area as well. And as I said, also in Velen, there's a series of quests, really, with Kira that regards the outcome of, or what Geralt and co. may or may not be able to do to help curtail the effects of the plague, which have been ravaging the continent. So, let's see. So basically, they're using this place, which is a mine, to sequester people who are afflicted with the plague so that they go die away from other people. And I guess so that they don't spread the plague as much to others? So, I mean, it is kind of cruel to just say you're hopeless and we're not even going to try to help you. We're just going to send you with a bunch of other people who are sick and have you all die together. Or you could say, well, I mean, then again, there's not really any choice in the matter.
Callous as your method is, there's sense in it.
There is some logic to it, though, I suppose.
Unfortunately. What's done is done. Now, where do I fit in?
Deep within the mine lies a salt cavern haunted. Someone, that is something, lurks there, so ancient records show. A spirit that breeds pestilence and whispers in the dark. Alas, a band of deserters has seized the pit. They butchered the afflicted. I was sent to urge their departure. Should they force open the mine's gate, descend into its depths?
We'll have more than just Catriona to stop. Let me guess. Your warning. Deserters didn't take it to heart?
If only. They slew my retinue. I alone escaped. Please, you must help. I've coin to offer. They must be dealt with. The bandits and this vile spirit.
Already dealt with those deserters.
Okay, I was going to say.
Be a problem, at least for now.
There were deserters before. We just couldn't go into the mine itself.
Why, splendid. Still, we'd be fools to delay.
So we fought them a long time ago.
Remain shut forever.
Okay. So yeah, originally you could go to this area and there were a bunch of deserters, but there was just no context. It was just like a bunch of bandits that existed here. They would fight you as soon as you entered the area. There wasn't really anyone to talk to at all. So it was just like, okay, it's a random outpost of some sort, no quests tied to it. There were probably some chests that had some decent loot in them, but that was about it. But now, so those guys are still there. Now there's more context to why they are there in the first place. So you may have, if you're playing The Witcher as well, you may have already fought those people as well. But now it seems like the big thing that's been added is obviously tying this to an actual quest, and now this area down below where theoretically there's some kind of spirit or demon or something like that. So let's learn more about that.
Could be this calls for a Witcher, but I'll need more to go on. This spirit, been in the mine long? Anyone actually seen it?
I've seen but some of the records. Above my station, you see. As I recall, it appeared long past, after the first plague victims were brought here. The church attempted once to exorcise the ghost, but, well, I'd like to see for myself what came of it.
Not exactly generous with details, were they?
Yeah, it didn't really help us much, did it?
No. Our wards recently reported hearing whispers at night. Pleas for mercy, but ghostly, strange. Altogether frightening. I'm afraid that's all I know.
Okay. So it sounds like some kind of spirit, some kind of specter. Outside of that, we really don't know much.
Stakes are high, can't deny it. Hope we can agree on a fair reward.
So long as you see what I have now as fair.
Okay, so is this basically a Witcher contract rather than a prolonged quest of sorts? I mean, obviously we're going to try to get this guy all this guy's monies. No, I mean, he's going to get mad at us if we go that high, but...
A reasonable request, but not one I can afford, alas.
Granted, in the grand scheme of things, this is basically pennies for us right now, but again, for the most part, I'd imagine when you're running into this guy, it's going to be much earlier on in your playthrough when having 240 extra coins is going to be much more impactful.
Very well, agreed. I'll need to take some from my own purse, but I believe you're worth it.
Alright, let's check it out.
So be it. I'll help. And you wait for me here, coin in hand.
Of course. Under the circumstances, I can't imagine how it might be better spent. Ah, the key. It unlocks the gate to the mine. Eternal fire guide you, Witcher.
Alright, so that's the key thing.
Yeah. Knock yourself out, Eternal Fire. Farewell.
There was no key before, so you couldn't actually make it into this place. Into the mine down below. So, I mean, as Geralt kind of alluded to there, that is definitely probably the nicest member of the Church of the Eternal Fire that we've ever met. Unless I'm forgetting someone. There, my controller vibrated a little bit again. That's made a little more sense because we had a corpse. Yeah, so this is where like we fought people here a while back. There was a lot of bandits. In fact, I think there are more. Just based on our mini-map here. Don't know if they've all respawned. Or what? Okay, yeah, they're just level 9. So, alright, I'm curious to test out the combat a little bit more. See if the light attacks still feel like they're more impactful than they once were. Is it just me, or does that seem like it's a bigger light attack than before? Okay, well that's rend, if I hold that. So that is different. Also, there's that. There is the whirl. There is the whirl, but that's different. That's different. So yeah, again, big area out here. This was accessible before. This was accessible. But we couldn't go down below. Okay, we should whirl when there's a bazillion of them. That's what we technically ought to do. There was, I thought, 1 or 2 guys over here that were kind of like mini bosses that were higher level than the others. I'm kind of curious to see if that is still the case or if they're all the same level 9. Because I think when I first came down here, I forgot we can't jump during combat. So we are now pretty much committed to being down in this lower level. I think when we first came down here, we were pretty darn low level. Like this was, again, one of the first places we went to. We were probably like level 4 at the time. So it was actually quite difficult. You could just like take a step closer to us wailing our sword. That would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Why don't we try, hold on. Why don't we try that alternate way to set up your signs that we were just looking at previously. So as I was saying, usually you have to open up the sign wheel and select your sign manually. Then once you've selected your sign, you can just press the sign button. But I think now, the way that it works if you do activate that, quick sign casting. Rather than standard quick casting, I think there's a separate button for each sign or something like that. So I'm not sure how you change it. I mean, I'm pressing the sign button. Okay, admittedly, I'm not sure. Okay, well, that's Yurden. And now we need to get our stamina back. Okay, so I think as you hold the sign button. Yeah, and then you press a different... Okay, I see. So, like, hold sign button plus... And I'm using an Xbox controller, so sign button plus Y was Yurden. Sign button plus X was that Axie. Sign button A, Ard. And must be sign button B is Igni. Let's wait. Oh, once we get our stamina back, at least. Oh, or Quen. Okay, well then how do we Igni? Press sign button plus all the other buttons simultaneously, obviously. And then eventually an Igni will show... No, Ard will show out if you do that. Okay. Alright, not exactly sure how to get to Igni in that case. But alright, so that's kind of cool. It's a smoother way to... Oh, where are you? It's a smoother way to use signs because you don't need to open up your sign wheel. So if that feels like it's kind of breaking the immersion for you, then I can see how that would be preferable. Also, that loot is pretty much junk, so we don't really need to be picking it up, but... Alright, so yeah, there's no really elite enemies here, at least not this time. As I said, I thought there was sort of like a mini-boss previously in this area. Also, I'd like to be able to jump again. And where exactly is this area that we go through? Like, is it this thing right here? Looks like it. Looks like we're right on... Oh, no, we are not on the icon. Hold on. Yeah, our inability to jump, which I'm not kidding. I'm pressing the jump button and we are not jumping. Hold on. Maybe we turn the auto sign mode off. We tested it briefly. I see what the appeal of it is. But if for some reason that was messing with our jumping capabilities, can we now jump? We still cannot jump. It's because we have a... Hold on. Because we took the torch out, which I honestly don't even remember how to untake it out. Hold on. Okay, the torch is away. I would like to jump now, please. Otherwise, we might be stuck here for all of eternity, which I'd rather not find ourselves in that situation. There we go. Just casually walk over the boulder, obviously. All right, but how do we actually find the way through? Where is the entrance to the real place we're looking for? Because I see the icon on our mini-map, right? So we zoom in. Okay, great, it's not showing it here. That was one of the things I was saying, though, is that the mini-map has changed such that it will make it so that not everything shows up. And what's up, Arumi? How's it going? How are you? Let's see. Yeah. What I wasn't sure... I thought it was going to be that little, like, metal grate down there. Seems like that would be something you would open that would lead down into mine, right? But didn't see anything to interact with there, which was a little bit odd. So now that's why I've gone back up here to see if maybe, like, the entrance is in a building for some reason. That would also seem strange, but the loot is not bad. Like, that is bad, but that might have been another appeal coming here previously, or coming here early when we were last in the area. Yeah, it's like the icon that suggests there's a place to go through is right here. But that's not really an icon for entering a new area, is it? That looks like it's more a bandit outpost type of icon. And let's investigate further. Is there a totally different spot? And the other thing is that because we had fought the enemies in this place a long time ago, it may be that, you know, we fought some enemies, but not a ton of enemies this time. May have felt like less just because we were higher level, so it didn't really have to struggle through it much. But that might have made it a little more intuitive. If there was still a mini-boss-like enemy... Oh, there is still somebody up there, and that might be the entrance over there. I was going to say, if there's like some mini-boss that is standing right in front of a dramatic door, then that's kind of perhaps our signifier. That's where we ought to be headed, and that... If I could find a way up there, that's what I'm thinking we ought to do here. How do we get up there? Especially when we can't jump, because I still, for some reason, don't know why the jump button has stopped working. How do we get there? And I think we even when we were first here, we did some crazy stuff and like jumped around unnecessarily from one area to the next and like hopped up on these things. Like this looks like the way up. Hold on. Might need to check controls to see if something wonky happened with our jump button. Because it seemed to happen right when we activated the alternate way to activate our signs. So I just kind of assumed that it was either that or it was the torch that we accidentally pulled out that was for some reason preventing us from jumping. Hold on. Controller scheme. Lids may have just been pressing the wrong button all along. It may have just been human error. Is it now? Do tell. Do tell. Alright, so it looked like there was something dramatic over here. Like, is this the entrance, maybe? It's locked. But can we no. Not that. Not this. Still locked. Still locked, you say. Yeah, so, like... Certainly looked like could be the place that we'd want to go into.
Looks like rain.
I would have thought. Huh? Eh? I mean, I would think it's either there or, as I said before, that spot down there. You would think that if you're going down into a mine, you would go down to enter the mine. But we've at least established that we can, in fact, still jump. This would kill us under normal circumstances. That maybe at that slightly lower height. I mean, I was about to jump down the entire way. That still probably would have hurt us in the past, but didn't hurt us at all here. So there's your confirmation. It does seem as though heights not as dangerous to Geralt as they once were. Like, can we? What the heck? What the heck? How do we go? How do we get there? Am I missing something blatantly obvious? I would have thought it would be either that area over there that we're just checking out with the metal grate, or the locked door that we theoretically just received a key for from that NPC. I mean, should we head back over to the NPC real quick and see if he has anything to say? I mean, he's probably not going to have much to say because we haven't changed much since then. Check this. Building is locked up. Also looks like it's too far on the outskirts to be the entrance. Hold on. Hold on a second here. This is weird. Dude, man, are you still here? You are.
The eternal fire light your path.
It's not very helpful.
The eternal fire light your path.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, it's all fine and dandy. Actually, let's see. Curious. I assume there's a quest description for it. There is. It's level 15, which I suppose is good to know. Again, we are, what, level 53. So we are playing what is basically an endgame Geralt, so this is going to be very underleveled for us. Probably still a little bit on the high level for, in relative to other things located in Velen. But, let's see what it says. So, the Eternal Fire's shadow opened the gates to the mine. Gates. While passing the infamous Devil's Pit, Geralt overheard the desperate pleas of a prayer he answered. A young deacon of the Church of the Eternal Fire asked the Witcher for aid. It turned out a gang of deserters had taken hold of an abandoned mine, now long haunted by a mysterious specter thought to spread pestilence. Geralt must deal with this plague spirit or risk releasing it onto the world. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. That's, you know, I'm all for it. Just as long as we can actually enter said mine. You know? That's all I ask. Apparently we're playing Portal now. Just need to find the proper entrance to this location, this area. It's actually a puzzle. I mean, it's this big area that has the walls circling around at 360, right? And it gets deeper down the more you approach the center. You would think that would mean the center is sort of the key location. You need to fight your way down here. And so you would assume that the place you're looking for to go into is also down here somewhere. Is it along the... Ah, there it is. This has got to be it, right? We got it. Everything is fine, okay? Everything is fine. Perfectly all right. All right. The Eternal Fire Shadow searched the mine. Look at it. That was all part of the plan. That was totally all part of the plan. Okay. This looks dark and ominous. How inspiring. Here, it sounds like, I don't know, ghouls or something? Is that lootable? Wait, did that say fifth essence? Essence as in the number 5, or filth essence as in disgusting? Because if that's filth essence, then I'm not sure I want to be drinking that water. Whoa. What the heck is that? I'm getting vibes that's going to be like an enemy ghost thing that spawns in as soon as we actually interact with that. That's my first impression. Purple, glowing, ominous letter. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Reynolds notes. Okay, so this is the part where we learn the secret that this Eternal Fire Priest that we were talking to is not actually an Eternal Fire Priest. He's actually some dark cultist who had to send us down here as some kind of human/witcher sacrifice to feed the spirit, to spread the plague further. Right? That's totally how this plays out, isn't it? Let's see. Dear O. Alright, did we get it? I don't think we got a name of the guy who we're helping out right now. If hope, this message finds you well. Beware the beings that lurk the mind. Took them for plague spirits of some type at first, but they behaved all too human, just stupefied in some strange way. A novel ghoul species? Wraiths? A manifestation of concentrated suffering? Whatever the case, they haven't tried to hurt me much. Okay, relatively speaking. Still, I advise caution. Watch for the ones pierced by nails. Okay, you know, it's not a good start. It's not a good start. They seem especially dangerous. Was forced to kill one when it attacked. I assumed it was a ghoul, but its viscera were fully and undeniably human. That said, most of the organs were badly damaged, symptoms of a blood fever. Couldn't understand how he was still alive. I suspect now it must have been some form of possession, something that twisted his form and then, for reasons unknown, departed. I gathered samples our mentors ought to see. Have I discovered a new species? Curious to hear your thoughts. Reynold. And these, I think, are from... Wait. Oh, wait, hold on. This might actually tell us where the loot is from the new stuff from the update. My dear friend, I have a feeling we wouldn't have a chance to talk before Vizima, so I leave you this message. I know there's much we both wish to say, but there will become a time for that later. In any case, a letter is no place to broach topics of such importance to us both. Either that or this is a really old letter from like the beginning of the game that I just never read that apparently is still in here for some reason. So, why I write you now? You have something waiting for you, the Royal Palace in Vizima. This is what I was referring. It is in Vizima. I just couldn't find it. Consider it a gift from Emir and myself. You can pick it up at your leisure after your audience with him. After our audience with him. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that is just, you theoretically get this letter at the beginning of the game, and so you do talk to Emir at the beginning of the game. It's basically saying, you're not going to get it the instant you load up a new game, but very soon after. And we have already done that, of course. So when you exit the throne room, directions! Simply follow the covered walkway in the courtyard. Turn right. Okay, we're gonna use this. Remind me to double check this, and we'll find the new stuff. Wait, what is this? Oh, okay, it looks like a magic wand. Not gonna lie. Is that's the glyphs glow bright purple? Is that always gonna be a thing now? It wasn't the letter that was glowing all ominously. Also, not gonna lie, when you guys were talking about Spelunky, it does make me really tempted. It does make me really tempted. Hold on, do we have it in our inventory or do we have it back? I think we have it back in storage. I am so tempted right now to go back and get our shovel weapon. Like, so unbelievably tempted. Like, I really want to do that right now. Now that we've established where the entrance to this place is, can we go back? Can we go back and get our shovel? It just feels like the right thing to do, you know? It just feels like if we're going through the mine, I mean, granted, if we had a wait, hold on, do we have a pickaxe? It is possible to get a pickaxe. We have a normal axe. The pickaxes are terrible. The shovel's actually, I mean, it's an old weapon compared to what we currently have equipped. Also, I'm kind of curious what percentage durability we have on these. It's okay, not amazing. It's not the newest weapon we have. It's a little underpowered compared to what we are currently equipping for sure. But it's not terrible, and against level 15 enemies, we can certainly make it work. I feel like we should do it. Quick detour. It's going to be worth it, trust me. Now that we know where we're going, it is worth it. Excuse me? I would rather than jumping on this candle, rather than jumping on the hear me out. There we go. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're just gonna play Spelunky as Shovel Knight, because that's the new Witcher 3 update. Obviously. And there is a fast travel spot right here, so should be a fairly quick thing to do. Just a matter of reminding myself where the best place to access one of those stashes is in Vellum, because I think there's only one spot. I think that means we have to go here. And then to Crow's Perch, right? I think this is our only option. All right. No roach. Alright, this is probably overkill, but so be it. I think it does require a little bit of maneuvering through Crow's Perch. Alright, so we're gonna pick up the most thematically fitting weapon for this quest right here. I mean, maybe, again, you could make the case for the pickaxe. That actually is a terrible weapon. That is generally not something that anyone ever uses. The shovel, though, the shovel's legit. And it's also probably my favorite weapon in the game, because it is just hilarious. New marker. Oh! They added a marker here. This obviously was not here before, because we have been here many times previously, but for this exact purpose, just having a place to get you to and from this stash over here a little more quickly and efficiently, I think is still appreciated. Be a faster way out, I suppose.
You white one, look like you got soused last night too.
Alright, so just pretty sure we have it in here. We better. Okay, yeah, I see it. So it might encumber us. Yeah, I mean, we have some junk that we picked up from the random looting that we did, but we have to get the spade. We must use that. No question. Where did it just go, though? Theoretically, we picked it up. Didn't see it enter our inventory. It's a little concerning to me, but okay. There it is. Okay, it's just hanging out at the very bottom. Gotcha. All right, nice. Okay, just dump some of the junk here. I mean, yes, we're in town. I suppose we could sell it, but it's just pretty much worthless. And more importantly, now it goes to the top of our inventory. There we go. Now we have the spade. Also, safety first. Obviously, we need to use our spectacles as we are going down into the mine as well. Okay. Now we are truly ready to do this the right way. Lynch, you're wearing white pants going to the mine? Look. Style is top priority, okay? Safety second. Style first. Alright, so this is the new fast travel spot. That is, I mean, it is very close, comparatively speaking, to that stash. That is convenient for sure. So that's, I mean, that's another just really little thing, but nice little quality of life improvement. Especially if you're starting a new game and you're going to be going back and forth to this place much more often. At this point, no, we didn't even need to go there now, but it's a small convenience here for someone who's earlier on is going to be going back and forth between Crow's Perch much more often. Then that could be quite useful. Oh, now this is going to really confuse me because the marker is assuming that we are underground, and we are not yet. So we need to actually, also, did I go to the right place? Oh yeah, no, it's just, I did not actually. I went to the other side. The Hangman's Tree. I mean, this is where we quite literally started. It's the very first place you go to in Vellum, so it's not far away, but just further confirmation that it is very close to where you start out, and therefore might be one of the first things you do. Although it is, again, a high enough level that you probably don't want to be doing this as your very first quest. Otherwise, you're going to have some trouble. All right, now we're ready, though. Now we are ready. Most stylish man in white. We're in Velen. Thank you very much. Well, most stylish man in White Orchard, Velen. Toussaint maybe is a little bit tough, but I think even Toussaint, because that's where we picked up this stuff. I mean, you can't get this stuff. You just can't get this stuff in Velen. They just don't have the latest fashion trends. You have to go to Toussaint for that kind of thing. All right, now we're truly ready. Now let's save. And by save, I mean resume and then save. Okay. What kind of nasty mutated humans slash possessed humans slash possibly totally different species are we going to find ourselves with here? This really looks destructible. Except it's not. Not gonna lie, if we have to use our silver sword on all the enemies and never get to use the spade, I'm going to be distraught. What does this say? First letter from Reynold. Actually, it's the second letter, thank you very much. Dear O, same letter we had before, so I assume same person they're sending it to. If you're reading this, it means you found the message I stowed near Novigrad as agreed. Sure. Probably wondering to yourself, who was right? You'll be happy to know you were. I wonder if is that connected to a different quest? It might be. Flode, Zakut, and Velen, exactly. It doesn't, they don't exist. They don't exist. Velenish. No. I mean, Velen is bottom tier for fashion, no question. So let's see. I'll only acknowledge it this once, so go on. Savor the moment, but I digress. Although the contract seemed easy enough, I should have waited for your arrival. How many times now have we made that mistake? I think I've contracted something. Fallen ill somehow. I mean, this was supposedly a place where they were keeping all of the people who were afflicted by the plague. And yes, I know that's impossible. What? How, are you a witcher? But I have no other way to explain my fever and lapses of memory. Here's hoping I have a uniquely weak constitution for a witcher. Okay, yes, so whoever this O is a witcher. Okay, that was not previously my understanding. I just assumed that they were a human from the Church of the Eternal Fire. Because if not, I find the alternative explanation far more concerning. That he's being possessed. Because yeah, witchers are supposed to be immune to almost all diseases. But not necessarily possession, so that would suggest the latter, and would mean that Geralt could be susceptible as well. But if somehow the worst were to happen, I've prepared some notes for you. I've marked each location with our insignia. You can't miss them. Okay, what is your insignia? For now, I'll experiment with a potion similar to Petrie's filter, though I lack celandine. With any luck, I'll find some in the grass surrounding Devil's Pit. Okay, so some kind of potion that would be helpful, and he's basically a little hint like, hey, you might want to look around to get the stuff to make that happen. I assume that we have whatever potion. I mean, we probably have Petrie's filter, if not whatever other thing similar to it that he might be referring to here. That, or I'll have to substitute suent mushrooms. If all goes well, you won't even read this. If all goes poorly, but it won't, I'll store the recipe and ingredients for you. Again, just in case, because you'll never need to read this. Oh, hold on.
A note. Potion recipe. Brewed with celandine. Should look for the places mentioned.
Or just go straight in.
Please, help me.
Oh. Is this the possessed dude who was once a witcher?
Sounds sincere enough.
You sure about that, Geralt?
Can't be too sure though. Could be a trap.
Yeah, I would say probably. Probably. More so the trap stuff. Thanks for stopping by, Nor. Have a good night. Okay, yeah, that's not ominous at all. Okay, do we take the high road or the low road? Well, I'll take the high road, you take the low road.
Medallion's humming.
Oh.
Better investigate.
Okay, it's like a School of the Wolf.
Wolf school insignia. Old. Very old.
Wait a second. Is that what it looks like in The Witcher 1? I mean, because that looks very familiar. I mean, that's a pretty common way to draw it, right? But is that specifically for The Witcher 1? It's kind of an Easter egg of sorts for that reason? What is this?
Not that way. Won't find
Kira's lamp ought to prove really handy here.
Okay, let's break it out. Wait, how do we... Is it... We can put it on our bar there. Oh, hold on. Hold on. But it has been a while. Let's see. Lamp. Over here? Or no, there's a separate sort of key items category, isn't there? Over here? Yeah. There we go. Okay. No. Okay, if I just remembered how to actually use it, that'd be great. Huzzah? Head. No, that's the spade. That's food. Usually it would also give a prompt, I thought, for when we're standing right in front of it, but... Alright, hold on. Lids doesn't remember. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Thought you could just interact when you had it out, and then it would work. But we need to actually pull it out, is the problem. I know. I'd like to use said item. Preferably would be great. Hold on. As he presses every button. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Where exactly are you? Oh, you're right there. Somewhere. There. Just some dude who's sick and coughing and not really anything else that we can interact with or anything like that, it seems. Okay. Okay. Right bumper, he says to himself, hoping that he will remember that that is the button that he was looking for.
That's it. Down there.
Okay, I get it. Don't need to be that explicit with the direction we need to go in. But also totally a trap. Like, without question.
Corridor to the right. Yes, that's where you'll find me.
So obviously we go to the left.
One of the beings Reynold mentioned.
Examine.
Another hint. Someone guiding me.
Ah, so this is interesting. So the ghost-like thing tells us to go to the right. So obviously my first inclination is to go to the left. However, the Witcher signs are going to the left as well. So not just me being spiteful, but you know, if we're trying to follow the Witcher, then that takes us this way. If we're trying to follow the ghost, then that takes us this way. So that's, I suppose, another little hint of sorts. So I think I am gonna go this way first.
Stop, not that way.
I think there may be alternate outcomes to this quest depending on what you try to do. So perhaps, you know, doing what the ghost thing wants you to do versus doing where the Witcher signs are sending you might lead to different results, so we'll see. It looks like this way is sort of the place where all the people are caged and possessed and what have you, and maybe the ghost is trying not to show us this so that we aren't influenced by this and don't realize that looked like that was burnable. So we don't realize that he's, you know, basically behind all this. And this is the Witcher's trying to tell us, like, hey, look, this is not good. You should not trust this guy. Whereas if we went the right direction, then we would have been possessed just like everyone else or something along those lines, or at least would have fallen into the trap more. What's this? Just a boulder. That is a nice boulder. I'm sure I probably made that same joke many times before during our playthrough. Okay, hold on. That same reference. That's definitely destructible. Without question. What's in here? is the other question. A bunch of rats, a lot of dead people.
Bones, dried blood, and mucus. Victims of the Scarlet Fog. Gotta be.
Okay, is that what we're calling it now?
Dark energy emanating from these bones. Spectre's doing.
Yeah, so in that case, I'm guessing that it's kind of like if you do this investigation first, you can get a better understanding of what this kind of enemy is, so that when you do eventually go that other direction, you aren't caught off guard and you can resolve it
Walls are scarred.
in a better way.
Human fingernails. The sick want it out. Badly.
So that, you know, I am not falling for this ghost's attempts to convince us, but need to make sure Geralt is on the same page as well. Alright, so this is probably again from The Witcher. Oh. Had to sit for a spell. The priest still won't open the gate, and my strength is fading. My body feels like it's on fire. I have no memory of the past. Hour? Day? I'm trapped in this darkness, haunted by foolish thoughts, with no way to distract myself. Remember when we learned to hunt ghouls? The folk in that village believed necrophages to be the dead arisen, animated by foul magics. Ha! Wanted to ask you, what will happen if I fail here? But I've suddenly forgotten your name. Osmar, was it? Omens? Amond? Osmond, yes, gods. It's so clear now. But for a moment then, nothing. A gaping hole in my memory. Not an inkling of who you are. Starting to think I will never leave this place. R. Now I'm also curious who R might be. So it's a Witcher whose name starts with R. Do we know of any? Maybe that we've heard rumor of, but never actually seen in the flesh?
Interesting.
Not sure. If this is going to be some, like, renowned Witcher. Okay, also now I've lost track of which direction we came from and what have you. Now I have become disoriented. We broke through this. Did we come in through this way? Yeah, we did, right? Because we saw those cages. Hold on, there's a... Oh, that's the other pathway to the right, I guess. It looks like they... Just looking at our mini-map, looks like they eventually both end up in the same spot. That's the spot where we broke through. Okay, so if we loop back around here, looks like the way to go, and that is eventually going to take us to the place where it seems as though the ghosty specter dude wanted to convince us to go. This feels like it's going to trap us in this enclosure, in this jail-like place. I mean, obviously we're going to loot this. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so how's it going? Touch? It's maybe not the first thing I would do.
About this.
Yeah, that's not really what I would
You.
encourage you to do. Oh dear. Oh dear. What the heck? Okay. Alrighty then. On that note. Okay, maybe that was just a way into this little area here, but it's actually still separate from the side that the ghost dude wanted us to go through. I don't think we're back there yet. Oh. Oh!
Oh, boo yourself, ghost.
Okay. Hold on. I don't think we've seen these people. Oh. Looks like they is he, though. Thought he was right there, but he's not really showing up. Where I thought he was supposed to be. Oh, it sounds like he's up above? Hold on. It looked like it was... yeah, I assumed it was right on the corpse glowy thing. But apparently not. Okay, can we get up there? Maybe? Kind of, sort of, not really. Probably not supposed to do this. Probably not supposed to do this. Let's maybe not do that. Okay, there's definitely stuff here. theoretically. Again, it is... Okay, we can kind of see the ghost-like figure in the cages. I don't really need that. At all? We will not fish for the dead. Okay. Well, this is on the edge of the area that is lit up here, for whatever that's worth. And we know that's supposedly going to be one of those greater glyphs. One would assume. Oh. Okay. Can we jump this? Oh, and this.
Witchers came here. School of the Wolf.
Almost missed that. That suggests that this may still be the quote-unquote correct direction, so to speak. If there is sort of a right and wrong way, a way in which you get tricked by this ghost dude and a way in which you do not. Okay, I mean, we didn't make the jump, but we made up for it. So this area looks important. Like maybe the place where the Witcher set up shop, if I had to guess. Those look like mutagen-related experimenty stuff that we've seen in the past. Okay, let's check this out, though. At the very least, an alchemist. I swear these ghost-like creatures, or well, the ghosts that you checked out with the lamp in the past were not previously this hard to actually see. Feels very sensitive to the angle at which you're pointing the camera and also your positioning. Let's see. Forgotten Priest's Testament. From the moment I first learned of our martyrs, okay, that sounds a little bit noteworthy. I dreamed I would one day become one. I thought nothing is more beautiful than making the ultimate sacrifice in the name of your faith. I now know I was wrong. Woefully, naively wrong. For in this moment, I would gladly forfeit my life of sanctity for a single cup of water, so I might help that poor boy curled up against the wall, suffering a misery none should ever endure. Okay. Thought it was going to be for his own struggles, but he's trying to help somebody else out. I can die here knowing that I departed of my own free will. By caring for the afflicted, I knew that I, too, would eventually succumb to the scarlet fog. I did not know my brothers would inflict such suffering to those under our care. Father Edgar tortured leaders of the rebellion and decided to close the mine. Okay, now that feels like that's an important little detail there. I asked in turn, who then would care for weak? They will die regardless, all. The smug sod. I resolved to stay, to help ease the suffering of their final days however I could. Father Edgar locked them in here all the same, and me with them. Now I find myself under my own care. I hear their wails and whimpers, witness their desperate attempts at escape, but I have no strength left. My only hope of deliverance now is prayer for a quick death, for I know it will not be merciful. Should anyone ever read my accounts of these atrocities, I humbly ask you share them with the world. In my waning hours, I wish for nothing more. So this guy was a priest / medic of some variety who was here to supposedly help those who were afflicted of the plague, although they're not referring to it as the plague down here. They keep on referring it to like this red haze or something like that. So that makes me think that it might actually have been a misdiagnosis from the beginning, and that this is actually something much more sinister than people had originally thought. So then he comes down, he's supposed to help them. Then the leader, this Father Edgar, traps the people down here and those who are supposed to help the people, basically saying that there was no chance for them to live anyway. And I imagine that may have contributed toward the extent to which this place was cursed, may have been the source of the curse in the first place. That sort of greed, or whatever word you want to use to describe it, that callousness. Oh. Were we over there before, or should we jump that? So there's that direction, and there's this direction. Oh, this looks like there's just more loot. Okay. Looks like that's the main way to go. Actually, a lot of loot at that. I mean, again, for us at the moment, it's pretty inconsequential because we are playing this on a file in which we've already beaten the game. But normally, this is in Velen and fairly early on in the game. I really thought I was not going to make that. Oh, another Witcher sign?
Was Reynold a Witcher?
Is Reynold the name of the guy who has been writing all the letters, or the name of the guy who has been receiving the letters? Because we knew that one of them was a Witcher. He said he was a Witcher in one of the letters. Not sure if these are going to be enemies we're going to eventually fight, or if those are just random wolves or something that are outside and above this cave system. So at this point, I'm not sure. You know, there was that whole question of at the very beginning, the ghost trying to trick us into going one direction, and then the Witcher sign sending us the other direction, / my instinct to not listen to what other people wanted to tell me to do. Have we rejoined with where that path would have led us, or has this all been completely separated as soon as we made that choice to go to the other side? At one point, I thought that it reconnected, but I think we later established that that was not actually the case. That looks also ominous. Okay, another one of these. Okay, the letters are from Reynold. Okay, so that is a Witcher, we know. Osmond is the person he's writing to, so we don't know. Osmond, I'm pretty sure, is from the Church of the Eternal Fire and is a human, I would assume. But Reynold is a Witcher, as he said he was. Something inside me, no signs of leaving, can hardly write, won't let me. Going to die here, all alone, if you don't find me. So yeah, he thought that initially that he was sick, but also hinted that there might have been something more sinister at play, because Witchers tend not to get sick from anything due to their mutagens, so it does very much seem like he's been possessed. And one would assume that the thing that he was possessed by is the very thing that is trying to spook us in this area, trying to tell us to go in the exact opposite direction that we had actually gone.
You deaf? Turn back.
Let's save. I think we're getting... I would assume we're getting pretty far along in here at this point. But not a lot of fighting yet. That's been perhaps the biggest surprise. Can we get over there to investigate that? That looks like we enter from through here. Huh. It's a big, open, circular area. You know. Just saying.
Something's not right. Medallion seething. That stench.
Yep. You bet.
Damn it. What are you, filth?
We haven't fought any of these guys yet, I don't think. We don't really know what to expect from them. But that's about to change. Unfortunately,
You're wasting time. You're here to find me.
no spade. Playing victim? They're monsters, so we're using our silver weapon, not the steel spade, which makes me sad. Okay, but now that those guys are taken care of, do a little more exploration here. So usually in the past when we've used the lamp, we've seen these ghosts and we've had actual conversations with them, whereas this time around, for the most part, we're just watching these little scenes play out that give us a little bit of insights as to what's happening here, but It's not a huge... Oh, not a huge difference maker. Note from Father Edgar. Okay, so this is the guy who supposedly seemed to have been leading this operation. The one who had locked in the... Probably the Witcher, but more specifically, the other person from the church who was supposed to be helping treat the victims. Or the patients. The matter is settled, as promised. Riots will no longer be a concern. But next time, do reconsider before lecturing me on the church's ethics. Okay. So there was some question as to the validity of that decision to lock in the people who were experiencing the sickness, because you could make the case, okay, well, you isolate them, right? That makes sense. Don't pass it on to other people. On the other hand, if the intention was more foul than that, then again, that's where I could see the potential source of a curse. If we had not exacted punishment upon the uprising's leaders, the ungrateful wretches would already have us hanged. And after murdering us, they would undoubtedly carry the rot to every surrounding village, blanketing Velen in the Scarlet Fog. Again, referring to it as the Scarlet Fog, not as the plague. So it makes me think that it is something entirely different, and it is not so much a sickness as much as it is some kind of possession by these spirits that is somewhat contagious, much like a sickness would be. But I wonder if, what is the origin of the actual Scarlet Fog? Did it predate this animosity? And that was sort of the origin of it? Was, hey, these people have some kind of sickness and we hate them? Or was it like, we hate these people because they're non-believers of the church and therefore we are going to be the ones to inflict this curse on them in the first place? And that was sort of what got the ball rolling. In the face of great sin, committing a lesser may prove the choice most moral. That's what it's sounding like. They committed this huge atrocity, afflicting a group of people with a terrible curse. And so they're saying, okay, we've already done the really bad stuff. Comparatively speaking, it's not so bad to just lock them up and keep them isolated from everyone else. Before we leave, draft up a tidy missive. Only be sure to omit any remarks concerning the nail remedy. Mention of torture puts the prior in a melancholic humor from which he is a chore to lift. Father Edgar. What the heck? We heard about the original person who gave us the quest, right? Said there was something like, or was it a very early letter that we read? Maybe the first one said something about how there was like an elite version of the enemies that had nails stuck in them or something. Watch out for those guys. But now we're hearing that is not some random coincidence. That's it's not clear on, is that like a cure, quote unquote, that somehow made them strong? Well, or is it just going to make matters worse and that's why they're stronger? So, I don't know.
The sick rebelled, then paid dearly for it.
Okay, so that they rebelled after they got sick. It wasn't like they inflicted them with this curse, this sickness, because they rebelled against the church or something like that. Gonna be picking these things up. They are not very helpful, but that's seashell, man. You can break that down and get a pearl. That's important. And we need the cheese. But we are no pig. I mean, if this was a quest you're doing fairly early on, I think there aren't that many enemies. Yes, they were high enough level that this is probably still a little on the tricky side if it's one of the first things you're doing in Velen, but a lot of loot. Not always high level stuff. There's been a few things. Some of the, like the emerald, like granted, there's not a lot you can do with that besides just sell it early on. But kind of thing that could help jumpstart your run a little bit. Give you some good stuff to work with. I think that's just about everything of value in that spot. There's more over here. So yeah, I mean, just look at the density of loot. Oh, hold on. That's the place, it would seem. Let's nab other stuff before we do that. Well, that might be all we have left. All right, let's do it.
Dead end.
Or is it? Okay, fair enough. It might be. Really thought we were going to be able to blast through that, but so be it. Okay. So I think we've looked at just about everything down here then. Done our thorough looting. I think we're trying to get up there. Oh, I once again did not think we were going to make it through there, though. Oh, okay. Can we make it through here? Yes. Now the art comes in handy. No thanks. Let's not pick up the probably cursed doll from the very creepy looking place. Second oh. I mean, this is definitely not the second letter that we've picked up, so that's kind of odd, but again, we might have gone in an order that was not necessarily the usual order. So let's see, Dear O. They locked me in. Okay, so here's our confirmation that not only were the sick locked in, I mean, The Witcher as well. Then again, we hear that The Witcher was also sick, even though that usually is not something that happens. First, they asked for aid, then, without hesitation, penned me in like a rabid mutt at the first sign of trouble. They wouldn't even hear my report. Thought me a specter trying to deceive them. Huh. Their common good. How could I help the common good if I can't get the herbs I need? So it seems like the Witcher was here. He was assigned. He took on a contract to help these people out. That's probably what we would have assumed to have happened. But he was supposed to create this potion that he talked about using for himself initially, but I guess was also intended to be for the sick down here as well. But before he could administer it, before he could collect the ingredients needed to create it, he was locked in here. Speaking of, the suet mushrooms won't do the trick. I already checked. Turns out the worst case scenario was true. I'm not sick after all. I'm possessed. Okay. That's what we assumed, but here's the confirmation. The specter has fully fused into my body. Oh, well that doesn't sound good. Not even Quen has an effect. I mean, let's be honest. If a specter has possessed your body, I'm not sure just using a little shieldy sign is going to do anything to stop that from happening. If only I had the right ingredients, I could brew my filter, intensify my signs. Oh, that's what the Petri's filter does. And expel the filth with a combination of urine and ard. Okay, there's your hint. I think we are about to, or in the not-so-distant future, fight a boss which will be this Witcher that is possessed by a specter, and the secret ingredients, so to speak, the best combo against him is urine plus ard, I imagine. See if I remember to do that, but as I said, they won't let him. Won't let him make the potion to help cure it. Or help increase the power of his signs so that he can do something about it. Guess you'll be reading these letters after all. I'll be waiting deep in the caverns. Make the potion, but do not come near me until you drink it. And don't substitute any ingredients, or the red miasma will possess you too. Strange. Miasmal. What is that? How do I know? Dwarven spirit, celandine, not suet mushrooms, contents of the chest. Okay, so, talking earlier about how I think there are probably going to be multiple potential outcomes of this mission. This not only gives us the context for what happened here, but also seems to give us some hints as to perhaps what is more of a secret way to finish this quest. I wonder if by creating this potion, which initially I assumed was just a Petri's filter, which I'm almost certain we've already created the formula for, and so we could just pop one right now if we really wanted to. But is it made by Dwarven Spirit, Celandine, and I don't know what the contents of the chest are. But my question is basically, my intention is to activate the Petri's filter before we go into whatever this encounter is, and then that might lead to a different outcome than if we just went bombarding straight in. Oh. Yeah, we're going into cutscene, or?
Spirit, Celandine, contents of chest. Must mean this chest. Got some Celandine on me. Good thing. Other ingredients seem in decent condition. Reynolds' own recipe looks like. Worth a try.
Alright.
All the signs scream Plague Maiden, but the symptoms more likely a red miasmal. Yeah. Need to prepare.
Okay, so we're getting a lot of info here. Okay. Let's see. So... what is this? Oh, that's from the... okay, that's the very end of the game. I know what that's from. We could throw that on, but... be a true miner. You just ignore our high-level Grandmaster Witcher boots and gloves. Just ignore those. Ignore those. But otherwise, we're just a poor little miner with our shovel. Okay. So, we should create this potion. We should do that. Let's see. Assume it's going to pop up here somewhere. Also, I should have just closed off this category. Wes, probably? Cleansing mixture, is this it? Item needed to complete a quest. Dwarven Spirit, Rot Fiend Blood, and Wolfsbane, all things that we have. And, given how I was saying before that... wait, hold on. No, here it is. Reynolds Filter. Dwarven Spirit, Celandine, and Reynolds Secret Ingredient, whatever the heck that is. Okay, so we craft that. And so we're supposed to have that active before we go into this encounter, and I don't know how long it's up for, is my primary question there. Can we just pop it right now and have it up for a while, or do we actually have to time that more precisely? Because I don't know if we are quite literally about to walk into the fight with this guy, or conversation, or what have you, or if we still have a ways to go through this cave. So let's find... it's his name. Also, okay, yeah, so this would have been the normal Petrie's filter, the one that he was talking about trying to use, but this is his alternate version. Also, I want to say it looked like this. Rather than skip over them. Yeah, we should probably just read them one by one. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll read them one by one. And try to find where we left off. His name starts with R, is basically just what I'm looking for. It's like Reynolds. Not that Petrie's filter, yeah, like Reynolds filter. No. Is it gonna be... does it still show up here if it's a quest-related decoction? That I don't recall. That's for a quest, so I think so. Based on that, as is that, I think. Where is it? The heck? Hold on. Do we automatically equip it, maybe? No. No. Huh? Go up here for some reason? The heck? Oh, or did we just... wait a second. No, we made the alchemy potion for it. We concocted it, and then that always gives you infinite access to it. Right? I know it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works, right? Unless it shows up... ah, here we go. It is showing up under quest items. Gotcha. Alright. Except it's not... huh? Yes, I would like to use this. Hold on. Not letting me equip it, though, which is odd. If we take you out, does that make it possible? Now, there you are. Not letting me equip it like another potion. I know it has potion stats with toxicity, and the effect lasts for 6 minutes, so that's nice, and that we don't have to be super precise with it, but do need to be able to equip this thing, I assume, unless it's like... hold on. Unless it's like any other normal quest item that just, you know, pops up when you need it, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Also, we are getting updates for the quest description itself, so let's see. Let's see what it says. So, optional, prepare a Reynolds filter. So that's good. We did do that, so I imagine that's something that could alter the ultimate outcome of this quest. Read the res miasmal bestiary entry. We definitely are going to want to do that as well. Then search the rest of the mine. So while passing the infamous Devil's Pit, Geralt overheard the desperate pleas of a prayer he answered. Yeah, that I don't think is new. So let's check out, while we're at it, the base bestiary. Okay, there's some things here that apparently we had missed, but I imagine it's probably under first ones. Unless, no, it could be under Spectres, right? Or whatever, the Elementa? No. Polaroids? Relics? Spectres, that's what we need. Red miasmal. Okay. Vulnerable against... I assume that's got to be the filter. Okay, it seems like it's supposed to function like a normal potion would. It's odd that it wasn't letting me equip it, but... Okay, so it is often said that the darkest recesses of caves play home to the continent's most fearsome monsters against which there is little hope of victory or escape. The lone solution, then, is to seal them off from the world with the hope that they shall forever remain buried. A certain priest of the eternal fire, however, learned that hope and prayer is sometimes not enough. The cavernous mine within Devil's Pit holds a specter whose very existence is believed to breed pestilence. Yeah, so the specter is the source of the pestilence, and, you know, is it really possessing everyone, or is it just the pestilence that the one thing that the specter is possessing is creating? You know, they're closely tied together, the whole possession and disease thing. With the threat of its release now imminent, the cleric seeks a new solution. The aid of a witcher, although that was something that they had done previously, and it didn't work, we already know, and in fact they were so quick as to seal that witcher in there, didn't even really allow him to try to find a solution, even though he theoretically had one. The being that haunted Devil's Pit turned out to be a red miasmal, whereas a plague maiden is thought to be a damned spirit, once human but now cursed to spread the pestilence. A miasmal, by contrast, is considered an evil force born from the concentrated collective suffering of plague victims. Exactly. So might not have been here originally, but by keeping all the people who are suffering from the plague, and there probably wasn't a specter to begin with, but by conglomerating everyone in this one area, that created enough of a reason for this miasmal to appear here. It has the ability to possess human bodies, thus granting it corporeal form and a means to wreak havoc. This process, however, irreparably corrupts and damages the host, causing the miasmal to continuously seek out stronger, more durable bodies. Okay, that is also useful context. So, is there it explains why it may have originally started off in some of the humans, but then eventually abandoned ship and jumped on to possess the Witcher. And then even though, I mean, oh, Geralt is the strongest of the Witchers, right? Well, certainly among the stronger Witchers, I would hope, at least, at this point, certainly. So, you know, Witcher versus Witcher, I mean, if it sounds like, even if we're both Witchers, he's gonna want to try to possess Geralt because it seems like whoever he's possessing gets weakened over time, so even if it would normally be an even trade, so to speak, just because Geralt is an able-bodied Witcher, I would assume that he wants to possess us. So, what cruel irony, then, that a Witcher's immunity makes the Monster Slayer a perfect shell for the Spectre to invade and control. Exactly. Exactly. Fortunately, a Red Miasmal's power is not so absolute that it cannot be defeated by an experienced Witcher, though even then, only with considerable effort. The Spectre, once... Oh, now I lost my spot. Hold on. Oh, there's a lot here, wait. Where was it? Oh no, the Spectre, once weakened, can be trapped with the Jurden sign, then expelled from the host body with Ard. So again, I think that's the secret answer. Perhaps something that could lead to an alternate ending. So I imagine if you don't do that, you're basically going to have to kill the Witcher who he's possessing as well as the Spectre itself. But if you Yurden then R, you might be able to basically flush out the Spectre and keep the Witcher alive. Consuming Reynolds' filter offers an advantage by increasing the intensity of Witcher's sign. So is that purely just for combat effectiveness reasons, or does that actually affect the probability / capability of driving the Spectre out? Like, if you do this Yurden plus Ard combo, is that sufficient, or do you need to have the filter on and still do that as well to have all the stars aligned perfectly to pull it off? I mean, that's certainly what we'd like to do. Alright, so we've now read that, and the quest log told us to do that, but we were going to do that eventually anyway. So I assume that's just it checking it off. Did check it off. Check the rest of the mine. Well, we'd like to equip this thing. That's the problem. I emptied out the potion spot and everything. I'd very much like to use this thing. Why you no let me? Oh, is it, hold on. Do you do it like this? Do it here? Say, here is the consumable empty slot that I'd like to use on this thing. Why don't you let me equip this, is what I'm wondering. Because I want to equip it, but I'm wondering if maybe it just basically auto-activates since we have it, because it's a quest item, but I don't think that's typically the case. I really don't want us to just miss out on the bonus stuff just because we couldn't equip this thing when we did all the stuff we were supposed to do outside of that, and it's just this janky little thing where for some reason it's not letting us use it. It's holding us back here, because that would feel like a silly way to not accomplish it when we did everything else. Just have it come down to that. That would not be great. Shaelmar bait. Okay, well, that's not a potion. But just checking to see if, other quest items we can equip. Yes. So why not for the Reynolds filter? Okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm not seeing any other prompts button-wise tell us that we can equip it through other means, so I take that to mean that it is just something that does not function like other potions, and we just have it, and it will activate whenever it is needed. I certainly hope so. We'll probably try to save right before the encounter and see if it doesn't appear to do that, then we'll try to reload, I think, because I really do want to try to do this the quote-unquote right way. And, in the absence of having that, might as well throw something else in for our potion spots. Not necessarily sure that we will need them, but nor do I remember what we had previously. I mean, there's a Petrie's filter is the thing that he was suggesting before he made his own version of it, so I suppose that makes sense. And then poison resistance, we might have had one of those on. Attack power grows over the course of a fight, sure. I think that's something we used against bosses in the past. Alright, so I really hope that that can still activate, because that seems really odd to me. I know I haven't played in a long time, so I feel like, part of me is concerned that I'm just blanking out on something that's blatantly obvious, but, I mean, I tried pressing every button. I tried pressing buttons in different orders, tried approaching it from different angles and what have you. But let's save here, just in case we are truly about to go straight into this encounter. So I don't want us to mess up because of that. That would not be cool. I would feel bad about that. That would make me mad. Okay, just at this point, pretty sure just following this thing around. Little quest marker. Oh, well, that guy doesn't look friendly. Okay, well, might be one of our last chances to attempt this, so alright, we'll give it one more go. quest items. But it is not doing anything when I click on it. So we'll hop down. Okay, and we are fighting this dude. We are pushing this dude around, apparently. He does not want to go down, though. Okay. Just one dude who was not pleased to see us, sure. We're down lower than we were before, because we can see the loot from the previous guys we fought is above us, based on those indicators. So I wonder if you did not go the way that we went, if you just immediately listened to the ghost dude, if it would have taken you here. In fact, this might even be... I think it is the place. Is it the place where we chose to go left, so we ended up here? Whereas the ghost dude wanted us to go right. I still think we are lower than we were before. This looks like... Oh no, it's telling us to go here. Hold on. This is just a circle?
Been here already. Not the way.
Alright. It is a little bit odd. It is very noticeable that the game is being a lot more handholdy in this quest. Both with the descriptions of the monsters, the descriptions in the letters, the dialogue of Geralt and of other NPCs. That's been a little bit striking. It is quite noticeable. I mean, yes, there have definitely been other times where reading those things have given you hints like that, but it feels just way more explicit this time. Oh, hello, I'm right next to you. Well, it was supposed to be a world that I was setting up there, but never mind. Yeah, part of me was also wondering if, again, just going back to that whole equipping the potion thing, part of me was wondering if maybe we had to, you know, read up and confirm that, oh yes, now this is clearly the answer. And now Geralt realizes that that is something that he does need to equip, and you can't actually put it on Geralt until you've done that. But at this point, we've definitely, if that even was a thing, then we've definitely reached that threshold. We have confirmed that it is something that we would like to do. We on our way out? I'm pretty sure this is the way we were coming up. Or way we got in previously, I should say. And now means we are headed back up and out of this place. Yeah, I think I remember going down here. Okay, well now I may have gotten us stuck. So there is that. So is this ghost dude gonna be hanging out at the entrance to the mine? I mean, he told us we were going the wrong way. Geralt did for a second there, but then I went and turned back around. But I did listen to Geralt eventually. Oh, maybe this is I don't know. That might be our hint of, hey, you shouldn't go back this way, because that seemed like that was sort of an insurmountable obstacle. Hold on. Which direction is it telling us we ought to be going in? I mean, it's a pretty big circle. It was weird. Maybe, I mean, so this is where we came in from, or that's where we came in from. So we're retracing our steps at the very beginning. This was the place, well, this is where we fought some people. But then, this was the place where I believe the ghost told us, go right, and then we saw, thought this was where we ended up seeing that Witcher sign that suggested that going left was actually preferable. So we did that. Definitely came from here. Huh. Odd. Alright. Maybe we are actually supposed to go back up that way. This is the way that Geralt told us we shouldn't go. Okay, and that does take us a long ways out, so we will definitely get lost if we do that. Okay, let's try going back up. Maybe I just didn't make the jump, but you are supposed to do that, and it is still possible. Yeah, I guess the circle is over here. That would suggest, I mean, there were the enemies in this direction as well, right? So that certainly would imply that this is the way we're supposed to go. But maybe I just need to practice my parkour skills. There we go. This, I'm pretty sure, is the way out. 5th letter. Okay, well, that suggests we're going the right way. Oh. Shouted throat, Raw refused to let me out. Know why now. Death everywhere. Darkness, blood, corpses fresh and fetid. Air thick with plague. Concentrated suffering created specter, pestilence, pain. Again, confirmation that the... as cryptic as this is, but confirmation that the pestilence and all that concentrated in one area is ultimately what made the specter appear here in the first place. I read my asmal, again, we figured that out, but born from death, young and old, rotted flesh already inside me when entered cave. No strength to fight, in prison, salt cavern, only chance. Not sure who will find, prepare for anything. Okay. That, to me, suggests this is going to be the place where this final fight is going to play out. It's not even gonna let... I guess we had one quest item to make the secret ingredient. We only had one copy of to make the quest potion. But again, I'm still not sure why it won't let me use this. Your stats, close. And for any other item, it would be a different... the button works, but not for this one. So it's weird. It's unnerving, because I feel like there's that chance that that's going to lead to us not succeeding as much as I want us to succeed here. And I would not like that to be the case. But, I mean, this has got to be it, right? This has to be it. Let's see what the quest says now. Find out what happened to Reynold. He's definitely been possessed by this red spectre-y dude. Well, past... oh, yeah, we've read all that other stuff. So this would be where I would pop the potion, preemptively. But I'm hoping that that doesn't matter, because we do not seem to be able to do that. Weird. But if there is, for some reason, a prompt to do that later on, of a different variety, then we'll obviously try to. Hello. Totally that red glowy stuff, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to check out the other things here. Oh, can't loot this? Okay. All right. Check it out.
The stalagmites. Destroy them. Free me.
Yeah, but see, like, the thing is, that's a bad idea. Again, this is where I would do it. We've tried so many times, but I guess we're just gonna go into this and hope that we still have the effects that we're looking for. So remember, Yurden plus Art is the way that we're supposed to kill this guy. Because we're hoping that we don't actually kill the Witcher that way. Because he is possessed.
Finally, you're here. After all these years. The spirit, the miasma, it's still...
Character model looks really good, though.
It almost has control. Hurry.
Reynold?
Hurry with what?
Yes, but my strength
Yurden plus Art?
fading. The spirit taking control. I trapped us in here. The salt, wondrous. Understand? It can't escape.
Led it into an apotropaic chamber organically carved into salt. Perfect for a specter. Clever.
But I feel it in me still. So long now.
Oh, we give it to him.
Help me.
That's why.
Brother. Give me the potion. To expel it at last.
That's why. Okay, so here's the thing. Ah ha ha! Alright, the plot thickens. So remember that Reynold had said he thought that increasing the power of his signs and then using Yurden plus Ard would be sufficient to expel, or no, rather, he was saying Quen, he thought, would be sufficient to expel the Spectre from his body, which I thought sounded pretty suspect, that logic. So I don't know if that's actually going to be a good choice. That would mean give him the potion right now, basically make his sign stronger. He can do that, he can try that, but I don't think it's going to succeed. Yes, on one hand, we did successfully make the potion, but I don't think that's going to be the right answer, because I think it's also just a trap to potentially make the Spectre stronger so that this fight is more difficult and he's more likely to be able to overcome Geralt and then possess Geralt instead. So that at least seems like a possibility. On the other hand, you could say, well, obviously we made this quest item, we went out of our way to do it, so clearly it's going to be beneficial. If we're metagaming, it's going to be beneficial for us to use this thing that we went out of our way to do, right? But I'm curious to test him. Because maybe this is the Spectre talking right now and trying to trick us into making it stronger. And so we know the letters were not actually to Lambert. So I just hope that this doesn't lock us out of giving him the drink later on, but I think we do this to see if we can figure out how trustworthy this guy really is.
Found your letters. To Lambert. Was sorry to read he betrayed you. Can't help thinking the miasmal would have bowed before the strength of two Witchers.
I was a fool, but what's past is past. Lambert, the snake, never deserved my trust.
Exactly.
I'll be sure to pass the message along when I see him. Though your friend, believe Osmond was his name.
You dare mock me?
No. Just got the sneaking suspicion I'm not talking to Reynold right now.
Exactly. Exactly. So we know Lambert was not mentioned once in any of those messages. And he ate that right up when we name dropped Lambert. He was like, oh yeah, no, I totally sent those notes to Lambert. And then we name dropped the actual person that he sent the letters to, and he's like, what? Why are you mocking me? So, confirmation. This is not actually Reynold right now. This is actually the Spectre. So I think all of that is to say that what we have learned is that well, it's not the Spectre. The question is just, do we trust that by giving him the potion, that would still allow him to break free? I don't think so. I think it's a trap that makes the Spectre stronger. So I think what we do is we deny him the potion, because that would backfire. And then what we do is instead, we end up fighting the Spectre, and we use Ard, or rather we use, not Igni, Yurden plus Ard, and that is the answer, rather than drinking the potion. Rather than having him drink the potion. I mean, we can ask him how long he's been down here, see if that gives us any more hints, but...
Been down here a while.
I don't remember
Have
if
any
it said,
idea how
if he
long?
said just how long.
Years, decades, time stands
I don't
still.
think that's true.
Nothing ever changes, brother. Nothing.
Longer than that, Reynold. Lots.
Or much longer?
Gotta understand, you should be dead by now, right? Only thing keeping your body alive is the miasmal?
All the more reason to end this. You can do that. The potion. Please.
So yeah, it seems like the actual key here is not so much the potion itself, as much as it's reading the actual letters to figure out that you might not be able to do these things unless you've actually read them. Or at least in this case, you wouldn't be able to understand the implications of name-dropping Lambert and him actually trying to run with that. So I think the potion is a trick. I do think the potion is a trick.
Not half bad, your ruse. But don't
I do
take
think it's a
me for
ruse.
a fool.
But don't you understand? It will take control of me.
It already has.
Kill you and all those you...
It already has.
No! Destroy it! Drink the potion! Finish what I started!
Now, we drink the potion, yes. You drink the potion, no. There we go. We drink the potion. We are... We Igni... Not Igni. We are an art.
Just hold on a little longer.
It said we might need to weaken him first, though. So I'm not... I don't want to kill him. So I might just go straight into Yurden. Might go straight into Yurden. Okay. Oh, ow. One moment, please.
You beat this mind.
Ow. One moment, please.
But I will.
Why can I not? There we go.
Witcher.
So we do that. Oh, you're gonna ard me.
I'll kill you.
So my question is, do we need to weaken him first,
Invade your mind.
or is that sufficient? I mean, we finally get the chance to use ow. Okay, ow, like big time ow, actually. Also, I can't dodge. I can't dodge. It won't let me dodge. That was weird. Are we supposed to get possessed? Are we supposed to lose? I mean, I didn't fight well there, but that was in large part because I was not allowed to dodge. It was really weird. And that's definitely a possible outcome and the worst possible outcome. Yeah, we're dead. Okay, so that's legit. That's legit. That was not supposed to happen. We did put on rags for armor, and we did put on not our best possible weapon, so we did kind of walk into that, but also the fact that I was not able to dodge was very alarming, because he was just able to wail on me non-stop when I was dodging the entire time, which was off-putting. All right. And we have confirmed that we can't just immediately Yurden plus Ard and get rid of him. We need to weaken him first. So that was the other thing. But he was actually, I mean, he was good, because he was using signs. He did, I think, block some, he staggered me several times, even when I was just trying to get the Yurden and whatnot going. Also, I fumbled around trying to find the Yurden in Ard, so that's definitely something we could do better as well. So I imagine this is going to take us right before this, might even be the start of this fight.
Stalagmites. Destroy
Okay, well, we know what we're dealing with here. So, all right. Do we set the memes aside and actually put on legitimate armor and weapons, or do we still try to fight him with the rags and the shovel? See, he was stronger than I expected. I still thought that he was not going to be able to beat us up. I thought it was going to be a cakewalk no matter what. So I was like, sure, we'll throw on the spade. We'll throw on the rags. We're going to try it. It was, the weirdest thing was just I legitimately could not dodge. I pressed it like 5 times.
Finally.
All right, so I'm gonna skip through this because we know what the deal is.
Yeah. I dropped.
We know what the deal is here. I'm still gonna ask these because there's a chance that you need to in order to get the
letters to
the end result we're looking for here. Might need to have Geralt officially
Mock me?
call him out,
No.
even though we know that he's a phony. Just confirming it in the actual
A
game.
while.
Yeah.
Longer than.
All of them.
Okay, so now we don't give him the potion. One more meme try, exactly. Like my execution was still bad, and we did still learn that you can't just immediately Yurden plus Ard him and win right off the bat. We do at least need to weaken him. My concern is that I don't want to accidentally kill him. I don't want to accidentally go, okay, well, we need to weaken him, and then do Yurden plus Ard, and then go, oops, 1 hit too many, now he's dead, and we didn't get the chance to do that. So that's why I went straight for the Yurden plus Ard, but understandably, I guess, it's not like you're gonna immediately finish a boss fight like that.
Not half bad, your ruse. But don't take me for a fool.
But don't you understand? It will take control of me. It will kill you and all those you. No! Destroy it! Drink the potion! Finish what I started!
Okay, Geralt drinks the potion automatically. Gotcha.
Oh, I will, Reynold. Just hold on a little longer.
But we do legitimately need to fight him. So this time I'm gonna try not to get completely annihilated at the beginning and actually fight right off the bat. Okay,
Not about to let you lead this mine.
okay, he does have, there, now I can dodge, but I couldn't before for some reason. It's weird.
I'll kill you, then spread through your viscera. Invade your mind.
Trying to keep an eye out for his health, so I'm not actually gonna kill him. See, like, how low does he need to go, basically? How low do we think? Oh, ow, he still got me, even though I already did. Oh, and yeah, if you hit him when he has the Quen up, then he counters you pretty quickly and effectively. Oh, he heals now. Okay, that's a thing, apparently. I'm gonna take that to mean that now is the time where we Yurden.
You served a plague maiden
I'm gonna
already.
take that to mean that... Oh, also... Oh, what? Oh, we have... Oh, I know why it's happening. Oops. Okay, I know why. I don't know why we couldn't dodge before, because I accidentally took that out.
Power with your strength.
Hey, he's actually healing a lot.
Who stand in my way?
I'm just trying to Yurden plus Arden, dude. Is that good enough? No? Apparently not. Okay, now he's really low. So do I actually kill him? Didn't want to. Need the stamina back. No? Okay, I mean, I tried to Yurden plus Art. Okay, there we go. So he just does it automatically. Okay, sure. Apparently it was much simpler than I was making it out to be, because he just does it automatically. The shovel is the best weapon in the game, and you can't convince me otherwise. Oh my goodness! We are not done here.
Now to deal with the miasmal.
Okay. I am assuming, okay. Oh, I also accidentally pulled out the lamp again, which stops us from dodging, which is a problem. So we don't want to be there. I'm trying to hit this guy with a Yurden plus Art as well. I assume that's also the general rule of thumb. We also have no HP. Ow. I assume that hit. Also, like, where is our food? Hold on a second. Hold on a second, because I attempted to apply food a second ago, or several times, and it wasn't seemingly activating. Or at least we're not healing nearly as much as I expect us to be healing. That might have been a change that happened. That might be a thing. Might be legit. I can't tell if that's actually hitting us. How big the AoE is. Okay, we definitely don't want to be there, though. No, ready for the ARB. No, don't be there. Oh, now he has friends. Okay. Is he gonna fight? Yes, he is gonna fight us simultaneously. It's not like he's just gonna chill out while his friends do all the work for him. So I'm just not super clear on how much I should be committing to the Ard plus, or the Yurden plus Ard thing. There's definitely holding us back a bit here. Oh, that one definitely would have hit us. And by that I mean it definitely did hit us. And that will too. I think we just wail on him. Ow. Rude. Oh, he is bringing more friends though. I wasn't sure to what extent. Like, is he just gonna resummon all of them? That feels like that could be a thing. That's gonna hurt. Is it one of those things where the enemies just constantly respawn, so there's really no point in trying to fight them? That I'm not sure about. Also, Geralt, I'd appreciate if you did not take forever to finish that animation. Also, I would appreciate if you would bring your sword back out. And by sword, I mean spade. Should I be attacking these guys? Is that even worth doing? Also, you're not gonna die. Oh, that required a different weapon, that's why. Wait, no, oh, well, spade is probably the wrong weapon, to tell you the truth, but yeah, the spade does nothing because he's a specter. Okay. Fine, fine. We'll punch him instead. Oh, okay, locked onto him as he was teleporting. That was not really expected. I like how we just staggered him with a punch. Ow, rude. Need a second to put up the Igni. Oh, and then I got staggered and Geralt immediately put out the sword. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. If you insist, we'll just casually do the dramatic kill on the non-boss enemy to distract us from, from the actual boss enemy that's dying. That was a cool fight, though. Cool fight.
Reynold died centuries ago. Body didn't decompose, though. Likely slowed by the miasmal. Strange. Never seen armor like this before. And the medallion. A wolf's head, but flat.
Osman finally sent someone. Seems the gods remember this damned veil after all. And you have my thanks. Can't believe it's gone. There were moments when I didn't know if I was me or the miasmal. Maybe I was both. Maybe neither.
No need for thanks. Should mention, though, wasn't Osmond who sent me. Priest of the Eternal Fire did.
Is that noteworthy? Yeah, I would like to get some proof that you are, in fact, Reynold, given that whole ordeal we just went through. And so there's the confirmation as well. That, the reason why we couldn't equip the potion was because we were not able to equip the potion because it was going to be a automatic thing, basically, once we learned about it. That, again, talking about what I was saying before, where it seems like this quest in particular, a lot more hand-holdy, a lot more the game does things automatically for you, or outright states the things that you should do, and rather than leaving it up to the player to figure it out, because I felt like we did all the right things there. We found out, we did our research, we figured out what the correct potion was, we figured out that Jurden plus Ard was the correct answer against those enemies, and so then I tried to equip the potion, but it wouldn't let me. I tried to use Igni plus, or rather, Jurden plus Igni, and it ended up doing that automatically. All these things, there's like, I feel like at that point, it's just kind of, why bother, Alright, let's see. Your battalion is different. Yeah, we'll definitely ask about all this stuff here. So, Geralt was commenting as we were walking in here about how the Wolf School sigil, the symbol, was different than the one that he was used to.
Who are you exactly? Got a wolf's head medallion, but it's strange. Looks nothing like mine.
Strange how. Designed and forged it myself, like all witchers at Kaer Morhen.
Quite the craftsman. Not me, though. Got mine from my mentor, like all witchers at Kaer Morhen do. Must have been different in your day. Speaking of, when exactly did you arrive here in this mine?
It was 970, or no, 80. I can't recall. Damn memories are foggy, fractured.
That's at least 100 years ago, right? Possibly 2 or more? 300?
That's more than 300 years past.
300? No. No! They'd have sent another to find me after 5, 10 at most. Osmond himself would have come. Shit.
I'm sorry.
Okay. It's definitely learned a lot more about him in that way as well. Witcher's body is ideal for possession. Yeah, unfortunately.
Miasmal got lucky you showed, not some mere mortal. Witcher's immunity meant it could possess you without destroying your body.
A cruel irony.
Lasts for that many
I had
years.
to focus all my strength to prevent it from escaping. Till I locked us in this prison of salt, that is. Before that, it possessed the sick. Quickly corrupted. Deformed them. Turned them into the undying dead. Feral and mindless.
All those voices, torches, wasn't you, was it?
You gotta ask.
My guess is no.
To lure you here.
Yeah.
I was too weak to even notice your presence. At least at first.
Okay. So, yeah, we learned that he got trapped in the mine along with all the other people who were afflicted by this disease. And that seemed a little bit strange, since he was supposedly there to help them. And they prevented him from getting the ingredients he needed to find a cure. So it was very counterproductive to lock him in here.
How did it happen that you came to be trapped with the miasmal?
Those cultists hired me to expel it. First sign I might become possessed, though, they panicked. Sealed me in here without a second thought. Could have sent an exorcist. Or called for another witcher. Anything. And those poor souls whose bones litter the mine. All forsaken for the glory of the eternal fire.
I saw.
Okay. I mean, it seems like from all these discussions that this guy very much does seem to be the real deal, and is not the miasmal that we were fighting before. I also like how, maybe this is a pure coincidence, but the story for this guy is that he got trapped here for hundreds of years, and wanted somebody to come long ago to save him, but only all those years later did it actually end up happening. And given the context of this mission, where it was originally supposed to be in The Witcher 3 in the original release, but it was unfinished, so it's been certainly not hundreds of years, but it has been several years in between when this guy was supposed to be saved and when people are actually now able to do the saving. So it's that nice little corollary to real life there.
Miasmal tried to impersonate a Witcher earlier. You the real Reynold? How can I be sure?
Ask me something only a wolf could know. Come on, let's get this over with.
Sure you're from the School of the Wolf? Your armor. Can't say there's no resemblance, but the color? Studs, vertical stripes?
Back at Kaer Morhen, they'd always toss gear my way. Whatever you touch turns to gold, they'd say. This particular suit, I refined on the path. Supposed to be a prototype for the whole school. Till my time ran out.
On your own? No workshop? Missed your calling, sounds like. Could have made a name for yourself as a fine armorer, or at least a tailor.
Osmond had ideas of his own, for improvements. Scribbled them down. We were gonna discuss them when we met at Kaer Morhen.
I'd like to believe you, really. Got any proof?
Search my corpse. Left-hand pocket of the tunic. Diagrams are there. And yours to keep.
Alright, diagram. Forgotten Wolven Steel Sword. Silver Sword. Is it going to be a full, basically, alternate wolf set? We'll see. What now?
You're free of the Spectre, but you seem agitated. Need to make sure you'll find lasting peace.
Mean to prevent me from becoming what we hunt. Well, still got a matter I need to settle. Be a brother. Help me. Then I'll find peace.
Could also cremate your body on a pyre, as the guild ordains.
You'd see me leave this world burdened with pain and regret. This is the fate you wish for me, wolf brother. A priest sent you, or so you said. Bring him here. I'd like a word. For my peace of mind.
Does seem a little risky. Although he's certainly not as outright confrontational. Seemingly not quite as dangerous as the miasmal was, of course. Still don't get the sense that this guy is 100% safe. Be sending someone down here when, he was just possessed by someone. And he's lost his body. His body is destroyed. Is he going to come in out here and be like, oh, why, thank you for bringing me a new vessel for me to possess, and now I'm going to basically be exactly what that miasmal was. And it might not change anything. Yeah, I'm also not really sure why he'd want to speak to the priest. Yes, the priest is ultimately the person who did send us down here, so indirectly he was the one who led to us saving him, but it still feels like he has some anger that he's waiting to get out, that he hasn't yet done that, and that if we are to bring down that priest here, then that's just presenting him with an opportunity to perhaps cause more trouble than good.
Why? Aim to have a theological debate? What'll a few words change? Let it go, Reynold.
No. Aim to look him in the eyes. Ask him how his religion looks upon those who condemn a man to death and damnation.
This kid, he's got no ties to the clerics who sealed you in here centuries ago.
Can you offer me them in his stead? No. Thought not.
Okay, but that pretty much just confirmed his intentions, right? Basically, he wants to take his anger out on somebody and vent because he's really angry about being stuck down here for hundreds of years, being trapped, and ultimately dying because they wouldn't let him do his job. They locked him in here. He was theoretically perhaps going to find the cure, although his methodology, as we learned, was perhaps a little bit flawed and would have probably required a second Witcher, but still feels like he's basically just waiting for someone else to come down here so that he can mess with them, possibly possess them, or just do something terrible to them. So it feels like he really wanted to do that to the person who originally sent him down here, but in the absence of that, he'll take anyone else. He won't do it to Geralt because we did save him, but anyone else who is even remotely involved in getting him into this position in the first place, and he will be very angry and cause a lot of harm. So I'm getting the feeling that this is not worth the risk here. That is what my intuition tells me.
No, sorry. Can't risk the boy's life. You've been here too long. Alone with the miasmal and your own thoughts.
I sacrificed all to save others.
True.
Believe I'd abandon my convictions to come down hard on one fucking cleric?
Yeah, I kind of do.
And you believe after centuries of torment that a few words with one fucking cleric will bring you peace?
Right.
Burn it, then. My body. Be quick about it. And spare me your precious pyre.
Sorry it has to end this way.
Just be done with it.
So maybe there's some perfect ending here in which we bring the priest down and he does truly come to terms with the current state of affairs and does not cause all this harm, but I just don't trust him. This is The Witcher we're talking about. It's been a while, but usually there is not a sunshine, rainbows, and roses solution to these types of problems.
Matters settled. Mine's safe.
Eternal fire be praised. It's a relief to hear it, Witcher. Might I know what you found?
Yeah. Well, so your cult religion, which is basically the Eternal Fire is basically a cult. See, you were the ones that originally put him down there and did lock him in there, and in doing so, basically did make it so that the Spectre arrived. Previously, it was just a sickness. I do think it was originally just a sickness, but the whole Spectre thing. The whole Spectre thing was ultimately kind of the doing of the Eternal Fire. So, do we call him out on that? He personally was not responsible for it because he's a new guy, and this happened hundreds of years ago. So, do we just brush it off? Or do we say, yeah, no, you done goofed? Or at least your organization that you represent has done goofed. Tell him? Yeah. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. I mean, sure, what's the worst thing that happens? He gets mad, but it's not like he's about to, possess a bunch of people and cause a whole bunch of trouble. It's one priest compared to powerful ghost of a Witcher / Spectre that we were dealing with before, so it feels like this guy, we can probably be a little more straight and to the point, a little more blunt with him.
Scratch marks on rock walls, the bodies of folk who died in agony, a red miasmal born of their collective suffering. Priests, your brethren, trapped the afflicted in the mine, condemned them to a cruel death.
No. Why, no. You must have misunderstood. My brothers would never abandon their teachings. They came here to help, most certainly.
Yeah,
They
no.
did. Then they didn't.
Right, initially their intentions may have been good.
In fact, then sealed the mine again with him and the rest inside.
Well, you've my gratitude, of course. Though I fear the dark magic in the caverns twisted your judgment. The eternal fire illumines our path.
He's not buying
To
it.
state the obvious, but it's a fire's nature to destroy. Light's just a side effect.
The bodies you found, there's another explanation. The church will get to the bottom of it, I'm sure. Here, your reward. You've my thanks.
Godspeed, priest.
Huh. Okay. So what do we think?
Now to find Osmond's scribblings, the ones Reynold mentioned. Could complete the armor then. Worth a look around next time I'm at Kaer Morhen.
So that's the main quest, the main component of it. But as we were just seeing here, I think we picked up some loot that is an alternate Wolf School set of sorts. And it looks like we can upgrade it, much like other Witcher sets of armor as well. Was it just a sword initially? Or is it the diagram for a sword, I think? Might not have the actual thing just yet. But let's talk a little bit about the quest itself before we delve into the armor, and we'll probably try to track down that stuff much like we would for other armor sets. So I can definitely see how the outcome could branch out depending on if you realize that the Witcher Reynold is still possessed by the Spectre, or if you don't. If you get the ingredients to create the potion, or if you don't. If you learn that you need to yearn plus Ard, or if you don't. Again, a lot of those things were automatically done on our behalf once we found out about them, so that would be my primary criticism, was it felt like, I was trying to follow it to a T, and ultimately the game just said, oh no, don't worry about that, we're gonna do it for you. So, I mean, ultimately, I guess it was helpful in a way, but it felt kind of odd, because I was constantly thinking, like, okay, well, here's the part where I'm supposed to do the thing, right? But you're not letting me do the thing. So that was a little bit weird, a little bit off-putting. As I said before, there were also definitely times where it felt like the game was very heavy-handed with what it was saying you should or should not do. So that felt a little bit out of character by Witcher standards as well, in that it was not quite as open-ended, seemingly, as most other quests would be. Although at the end there, definitely, I mean, as we said, we figured out the secrets, but then in terms of what we ought to have done once we did free the Witcher spirit, and once we did that, and got back up here to the Eternal Fire Priest, I'm not sure how significant that might have changed, how significantly that might have changed if we had chosen to bring the priest down. I still suspect that the priest might have died, that or gotten cursed or harmed in some, like maybe, like the Reynold was a ghost, yeah, so I'm not really sure that he could materially, physically harm the priest, but, indirectly do something to, like, make some stalag type fall and hit him on the head and kill him indirectly or something like that. Something that's more curse-like. That feels like the kind of thing that might have happened had we brought down the priest into that area. So I think that might have still been the right choice there, even though it, obviously the spirit, Reynold's spirit, was not pleased with us for having chosen that. But then as for the priest at the end here, very end, obviously he did not believe us, which on one hand made it feel like, okay, maybe that was the quote-unquote wrong decision. On the other hand, the other option was to just completely ignore all the nuances of the things that we found down there and brush those aside and not accuse the Eternal Fire, the Church of the Eternal Fire for doing anything at all, in which case that was just never going to be addressed unless somehow Geralt named, or, started specifying those details, even though that was not really in the description at all. So, I think we did reasonably well. I'm a little curious to see what the other outcomes could be. I think we can anticipate to a certain extent. But now, so overall, I thought that the boss fight was pretty cool. I mean, we messed around a little bit, but it's a relatively difficult enemy. I think, especially if you were fighting around the level of that enemy, you'd probably find that to be a pretty tough challenge. And I mean, a lot of loot down there. That's, mostly secondary, but could be useful if you're doing this quest fairly early on, which you very, very well may find yourself doing if you're doing a new run of The Witcher 3. So overall, I liked it. I did like it, but it definitely did feel like there were some somewhat major flaws at times. Or at least some things that felt out of character relative to the rest of The Witcher 3. So it does, in that way, sort of stand out a little bit as a mission that feels like it was not made at the same time as the rest of The Witcher 3. It feels a little bit more like if you had told me that, oh, hey, there's all The Witcher 3 quests, and then there's this one, and this one was made, 5, 6, 7 years afterward, then I would understand where you're coming from there, because it does feel like the approach was a little bit different with this one. But still, happy to hop back in and see what it's all about. And as I said, I think cool area, pretty large area, cool boss fight, and interesting ways in which the story might branch out. I think it would be much better, though, if it was a little less handholdy, because that did, I think, turn out to be possibly my biggest critique of that quest.